Right now, very pleased to have with us on the program from Buckeye Firearms, member of the NRA's board of directors as well, Mrs. Linda Walker. And Linda, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent, Cam. How are you doing?
I am great. Thanks for coming on the program.
Well, I'm even more honored to follow my fellow blood brother, my fellow board member, Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
It's a good night.
It is. Well, and it's a good night because we can celebrate the Columbus Dispatch actually writing a story about the anniversary of restaurant carry. They say 1 year later, the carry fear silence. Now, Linda, I have to say, there's still some lines in this story that make me roll my eyes. But even if you're looking for problems with restaurant carry, you can't find them.
No, not at all. And actually, we're pretty tickled about this story because, we're so used to reporters, having the slant and the bias against the guns. And this one really was a fairly balanced, pretty good article. And myself and Jim Irvine have both complimented the reporter on this, Alan Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a quote by Toby Hoover of the Ohio Coalition Against Gun Violence, who said that quote, "I don't think it tells us a whole lot, the fact that there hasn't been any problems." She says, "Our whole objection still remains. We're putting more guns out there in public, and most of the public are not comfortable with that decision-making. Easy access to a weapon is obviously going to make it more likely for incidents to happen with a weapon. I'd rather not be sitting in a restaurant next to someone who's carrying," end quote. Couple of things, Linda. Do you think Toby still goes out to eat?
I don't know if she does or not, but I have to think that probably at this point, every time she does, she's probably sitting close to someone with a CHL in Ohio. And, does she go to McDonald's? Because certainly there's been firearms in McDonald's for the last 8.5 years in Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get this. In her saying that, quote, most of the public not comfortable with that decision-making. Well, again, I haven't seen any stories indicating that people are avoiding restaurants in Ohio with the passage of restaurant carry.
Yeah, and, I really haven't noticed very many restaurants that went ahead and chose to post.
Yeah.
They did quote one gentleman in the article who has remained having chose to post, and he's only got one restaurant, so we don't have to go to the Barcelona.
Yeah, look, I think I disagree with Ms. Hoover because I think that, quote, most of the public don't really care if I'm carrying or not. I don't think that it even has an impact on them. I don't think most people think about, is there anybody in this restaurant who's a concealed carry holder?
Yeah, it's a non-issue, and I think it's a non-issue across the country except for one unfortunate state that once laws are passed, nobody cares any longer. And I especially enjoyed the quote, I've got the article here in front of me, but the quote from the spokesman for the Columbus Police Department. And he also said that there have been no issues in the past year. I'm sure if he'd gone to his boss, Mayor Michael Coleman, he probably wouldn't have wanted to say that. But I appreciate that Sergeant Rich Weiner had said that, and I don't know. It's been good. None of the blood is run in the streets or our restaurants, and it seems like we've seen a shift over the years of the reporting. Also, Columbus Dispatch. I'm happy with the article. Whatever Toby says, Toby's going to say.
Right.
The Cleveland Plain Dealer has published several, let's call them pro-gun articles in the past couple years. And now we've got the Dispatch.
Yeah.
And it really seems in the last 10 years we've shifted from really bad reporting about guns in Ohio to the shift is becoming, well, gee, there isn't a problem here, so we're not going to create one by talking badly about it. And, you and I have talked before about it almost seems like being a gun owner is becoming chic. You know, it's the thing to do, and we've got the legislature falling all over themselves. They all want to run pro-gun bills. So it's a nice position we're in.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Linda, appreciate you coming on the program tonight, and I hope we can talk again very soon.
Absolutely.